You probably know this already. If you're into music and enjoy playing music, instruments can be very expensive. And if you are a guitar enthusiast, you'll begin to encounter instruments with higher grade wood, pickups, strings, construction, and craftsmanship. These guitars are the most sought after in the world, so don't expect to see them at your neighborhood music store. Owning a vintage guitar is a terrific investment in and of itself. So, if you happen to be the happy owner of a guitar that formerly belonged to a famed artist, you may see the value of your instrument increase. And today, we're going to talk about these guitars and find out which one is the most expensive to date. Welcome to Lux Life. And when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's begin. Number 10. Bob Dylan's Newport Folk Festival 1964 Fender Stratocaster, $965,000. This instrument is historically significant since it was the first electric guitar ever played by Bob Dylan during a live concert. This was the first time in history that his own supporters booed him on stage because they didn't like the guitar he was playing. When he performed at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, the audience made it clear that they expected to hear acoustic renditions of all of his songs. During this performance, Dylan's decision to play guitar represented a break from his previous preference for electric instruments. Number 9. Keith Richards, 1959 Les Paul, $1 million. Standard 1959 Les Pauls are valued at more than 6 figures without the influence of a big personality. However, Keith Richards played this exact guitar during the Rolling Stones' inaugural performance on the Ed Sullivan program, an iconic moment in the rock and roll history. Many great bands and musicians attribute a portion of their success to their appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, and collectors and investors in memorabilia are aware of how events such as these increase the value of artifacts such as Keith Richards' 1959 Les Paul. Number 8. 1958 Gibson KORINA Explorer, $1.1 million. The value of this 1958 Gibson KORINA Explorer comes from the fact that 3 of the best guitarists in the world have played it. This guitar is relatively special to say the least, because Slash, Kirk Hammett, and Rick Nielsen have all played it at some point in their careers. Only about 10 of these guitars were ever made, so it's easy to see why they sold for $1.1 million at auction. It's rare, has an unusual shape, and has been played by famous musicians. Number 7. Bob Marley's Washburn 22 Series Hawk, $1.2 million. Even though he was one of the most well-known musicians of all time, Bob Marley only had 7 guitars at his discretion during his whole career. One of those guitars was a 22 Series Hawk Washburn, and he presented it to his guitar technician Gary Clausen as a gift. It has been rumored that the government of Jamaica, which has designated the guitar as a national treasure, paid somewhere between $1.2 and $2 million at auction to acquire the instrument in question. Number 6. Jerry Garcia's Wolf, $1.9 million. Another customized Dog Irwin guitar that goes by the moniker Wolf is a guitar owned by Jerry Garcia. Its moniker, like his other custom Dog Irwin guitar called Tiger, is based on the unique artwork of a wolf he had made for the instrument. As part of a fundraising effort for the Southern Poverty Law Center, a charity auction was held in 2002 in which Wolf was one of the items for bid. Wolf may be worth significantly more now than it did when it was at the height of its popularity when it was first released. Are you familiar with any of these guitars? Which one of these truly piques your interest? Let us know in the comments below. Number 5. Jimi Hendrix's 1968 Fender Stratocaster, $2 million. Compared to the other guitars mentioned today, the standard Stratocaster that is right-handed and has an Olympic white finish does not stand out as particularly remarkable. But interestingly, Jimi Hendrix performed it during the Woodstock Music Festival in 1969. best known for the epic rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner he gave there. Paul Allen, a co-founder of Microsoft, made the acquisition of the guitar in 1998 for close to $2 million due to its extraordinary history. Number 4. John Lennon's 1962 Gibson J160E Acoustic-Electric, $2,410,000. John Lennon and George Harrison bought a pair of Gibson J160E electric acoustics in London in 1962, and John Lennon's was remarkably identical to George Harrison's. The Beatles used it to write songs like I Saw Her Standing There and She Loves You with Paul McCartney. The guitar mysteriously vanished during a concert by the Beatles in 1963, but it turned up years later. The acoustic guitar was originally purchased for £161 in 1962, but in 2014, it was sold at auction to an unknown bidder for a staggering $2.41 million. Number 3. Reach Out to Asia Fender Stratocaster, $2.7 million. Bryan Adams created this guitar to aid victims of the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami as part of his Reach Out to Asia effort. The guitar is one of a kind because it features signatures from numerous well-known musicians, 19 musicians including Jimmy Page, Mick Jagger, Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, Brian May, David Gilmour, Jeff Beck, Liam Gallagher, Angus and Malcolm Young, and Bryan Adams all put their names on the album. In 2015, Sotheby's auctioned off Reach Out to Asia for $2.7 million, setting a new record for the most money ever paid for a guitar. Number 2. David Gilmour's Black Strat, $3.975 million. David Gilmour, the guitarist of the band Pink Floyd, played this 1969 Fender Stratocaster in addition to being used on classic albums like The Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, and The Wall. This guitar was just auctioned off for a climate change charity. Those 3 albums profoundly impacted the music industry and popular culture. You may claim that this guitar is a relic of the development of contemporary music, and it is among the most expensive guitars ever sold at the time. Number 1. Kurt Cobain's Martin, $6,010,000. Nirvana was largely responsible for the transformation of popular music in the early 1990s. Because of this, the heart of the music industry shifted from Los Angeles to Seattle, the grunge capital of the world. In 1993, Nirvana gave a memorable performance on MTV Unplugged only a few short months before Cobain's untimely death. That legendary performance featured an acoustic Martin D18E guitar played by the performer. A recent auction brought in more than $6 million for its purchase. These extremely pricey guitars attract such high prices due to their illustrious backstories and cultural significance rather than their actual playing abilities. But when it's time to pick out your own instrument, the quality of the guitar you choose to buy will determine its final cost. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates on our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lux Live. See you!